6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well. Good morning, everybody. I got to move my other camera over here. We're going to see, Sherry, how many people show up on holidays. We're going to see how many people show up on holidays. I didn't even really make a big announcement about it, except on Friday. So we got the troopers with us today. And special guest. I texted her this morning, Sandy. Sandy, good morning to you, Sandy. It is good to see you on here. Good morning. Good morning. I know. I texted her. I was like, you should come on today. It's a holiday. You should come on. She's like, I will. I was like, and she's got a big show at 9. So I appreciate squeezing us in, Sandy. It's good to have you on here again. Good morning to you all in the Facebook world. Shout out to my Facebook peeps. John Hart, good morning to you. My lovely ladies, Jay, Rika, and Grace over in the Philippines, they are here with us too. We had a big conversation. It's a holiday. Do we work? And I negotiated with them, John. I negotiated with them. I said, half a day today, Sherry. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do a half a day today. So we're going to see who's out there going to make it happen today. This is a day that I feel you can make some good money today. You can make some good money today because a lot of people are taking today off. So, good morning to you, Christian. Good morning, Latrice. Good morning to everybody. My name's Coach Brock Zevan. What's up, Coach Sonona? How are you doing? Good morning. My aunt. Let me just tell you all. Let me just tell you something real funny that happened over the weekend. So I had like 3 graduation parties this weekend, and I think the one yesterday that we had. Everybody, Sherry, this is the conversation that was happening while we were having our little cookout. So like the family, we all were sitting at a table. And my sister Lisa goes to me, what do you guys think of the barbecue, the pork? She goes, put a 5 in the chat if you like it. Put a 5 in the chat if you like the barbecue pork. Put a 7 in the chat if you guys want to come back. And they were just so everything the rest of the time was like, hey, Brock, why don't you put a 3 in the chat? Hey, Brock, are you going to do Facebook Live? Hey, Brock, why don't you put a 9 in the chat if you want more food? I was just like, all right, everybody. All right. At least everybody knows. Cat, at least everybody knows. I guess everybody's excited over in the Facebook world because Facebook's a little bit more people in Facebook. But for those of you who are on today, I got a special show today because I love holidays because it allows me an opportunity to do some research on people. And so, first and foremost, good morning to you all. My name, Coach Brock Zevan, life coach, business coach, real estate coach, and a DAD. And I first want to say to you all on this Memorial Day, thank you for being on here. But more importantly, thank you to all those that lost their life for us to be able to have this day, to be able to have this celebration that we have, because without them, this day does not exist. And so, just prayers for those family members, for all from going back to World War One, World War Two, the Middle East, all these soldiers who have lost their lives, for us to be able to have this day today, to be able for us to celebrate Memorial Day, that we truly thank you for your services. If you know somebody that you like to pay respect to, please feel free to put them in the chat, whether you watch the recording, whether you join us on our YouTube channel or on our private Facebook group, that we want to keep those people in our prayers and our thoughts for thanking them for their services and those that continue to serve for us here in our country. I was excited. I got I've been wanting a flag, so I was excited. I put up a flag this weekend. So I have our American flag out. So that was really cool being able to put that up this past weekend. I was at Lowe's early Saturday morning, got a lot of my stuff done. So today's message, before I get into my affirmation, before I get into it wasn't just a lot of graduations. I was thinking about my weekend. It wasn't really a DID weekend. I didn't have them this weekend. So just gearing up for the week and just a lot of family though. It's cool seeing a lot of my family. I'm up from the Northeast. Who's anybody else from the Northeast? So we're from the Northeast, and Wendy's friend um, was at the party, and she's from New York, and a lot of my family's from the Northeast. Where's my godmother's on here? Aunt Maria, where are you? She is working today at the hospital, and we were just saying like it was great just to have all those the northeasterns from Boston were in town, from Boston. Everybody screams, everybody yells. It was just like you get inside a room and just everybody, hey, throw me up here. Hey, pass the food. It's like everybody just screams. So Diane goes, you know what I feel like? Just like at home. I said, yeah, it's crazy over here. So we had a good time though. It was my cousin Rob and Angie. I did a post yesterday, kind of like was reminiscing at the same token. We heard a lot of remember this, remember this, remember this. And so how many of you been to a gathering? Five in the chat. Put five in the chat. If you've been to a family gathering and you're like, remember we did this, remember when we did this, remember when this took place. And so yeah, that was a lot of remembering type of things that happened over the weekend. So I hope you guys all had a great weekend with your family and your loved ones to celebrate this holiday. So what I like to do best for those of you in the Facebook world too, I want you to unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Jay, let's do the affirmation. Let's do the affirmation. Christian gets excited when we do this affirmation. Everybody talks on here. Everybody talks. So on the count of three, unmute yourselves and we will all say it together. 1, 2, and 3. Something good is going to happen to me. Something good is going to happen through me. Well, everybody's a little tired this morning. We'll get you going now. We'll get everybody going. Normally it's like an orchestra, but only a couple people today. It's all right though. Well, here's what we're going to talk about today. So for those of you that are on here, for those of you that watch the recording, for those of you that want to share this with somebody, I was watching one of the History channels yesterday, and I'm one of those weirdos that, yes, I was watching the History Channel. And they had a special because it was Memorial Day weekend. And I'm going to do a little screen share. Jay doesn't even know. And I'm going to do a little screen share. So I hope you guys can see this all right here. But I watched this video about Mr. General George S. Patton. Does anybody know about him? Put a 3 in the chat. Put a 3 in the chat if you know about George S. Patton, the general back in World War II during the Hitler days, the Nazis, and the invasion of Normandy. Put a 3 in the chat if you know about this guy. And your dad served with him. Wow, that's awesome, John. That is really cool. So I watched a little bit of his biography, and I was like, you know what? I want to study this guy. I want to learn about him. So I want you to write this down. It's called the Patton Prayer. The Patton Prayer. And we're going to talk a little bit about this gentleman today, being Memorial Day, and bringing it to today's world of what his personality and what his style was and how he was an influence in a very, very important, hey, Michelle, time. So what took place with George Patton was that he was one of the leaders. Well, he was a leader because of his influence, not only his influence within the military, but his spiritualness. He was a very spiritual person, and I had no idea. And that's probably what caught my attention even more, Jackie, was his spiritualness that he had. And so I started to study this guy and understand, like, all right, what makes him different? What makes him so special? And one of the things that he did was that he generally cared for each of his members. And you'll hear John Maxwell talk about this in the leadership, that if you're an influencing person and you are a leader, there's a couple ways to look at it. One is there's a lot of leaders out there who say, like, come follow me. And when they turn around, they're by themselves. And John Maxwell says, well, you're just going on a nice lonely walk. But if you are a leader and people are following you, you have a parade. You have people that you are influencing in a way that feel that you have their best interest. And so what was happening back in this time period of the war, back in the 1940s, was that the invasion of Normandy took place, and they were struggling with the war with the Germans. And what took place is they sent Patton over there to be like, hey, man, we need you to go help us with the situation because we need to defeat Germany. Well, there was a big problem back then. If you can imagine, how many of us have like those, we have those like hand warmers, and then you can go to Amazon, you can buy special, like, like parkas and all this like scientific things to keep your body warm and everything else. Well, I got news for y'all. Back in the 1940s, they didn't have that. They didn't have Bluetooth. They didn't have GPS. They didn't have the insulation that we have today. And what was taking place was during the war is that they had one chance because Germany was really dominating. They were taking over, Terry. And what happened is they were trying to attack these allies, and they were going west across Germany to take over and to dominate. Well, the United States was like, well, hold on a second. But they were down and out. They didn't have as many people. The Germans and the tanks and the equipment, they had much more than we did. And so they sent Patton in there. So how many of you today see what I liked about this guy with Patton is the odds were against him. Things weren't lining up the way that he wanted them to line up. The budget wasn't there. The equipment wasn't there. And you know what he says? I'll go in. Let me see what I can do. Let me get a stab at it. See, here's the thing. You might hear me say about the egg and the chicken all, and the eggs like with the breakfast menu, and the egg wants to be part of breakfast, and the pig wants to be part of breakfast. I can only imagine you're in World War II, you come into the conference room, you sit down, and a couple of the hierarchy said, hey, man, need you to go to Germany and see what you can do. Like, we don't have a lot of equipment. It's freaking butt ass cold. And I just need you. Do you think you'd be willing to go over there? I don't know about you, but like in the chicken story of the intentions, like, well, I kind of want to be part of the breakfast, but you know what? I don't know if I'll come back. And that's what happens with the pig and the breakfast. When they want to be committed, they don't get to come back to the slaughterhouse. They don't get to come back to the pig coop. The mud, they're all in. And so George Patton's like, I'll go. I'll do it. I mean, he's not promised tomorrow when you go to war. I guarantee you he's not like, you know what, I'm in. Yeah, not a problem. The chances are way in my favor. And so he goes over there and he's trying to unite the group. And what happens is that fog is setting in. The weather is god awful. And so what happens is that they said that there was like 20 below. And it wasn't like, Sherry, it wasn't like, well, let's take a look at the forecast and see what we got for the next 7 days. No, they don't have that type of equipment. They just know that it is butt ass cold, freezing cold, frostbite that is taking place day in and day out. And what happens is the cloud cover is so low that it really eliminates the entire air strikes, and they can't do the supplies. So here's this general that comes into a situation that's not very exciting. It's freaking cold, and he runs out of steam, and people are starting to like, I don't know about this anymore. How many of you got people around your circle that start telling you like, man, I seriously, like, what are you trying to do? Maybe this isn't the right thing. Why do you want to get out of teaching, Brock? You got job security. You got a 401k. You got a normal paycheck coming in. Why do you want to go into real estate? I remember those conversations. How many of you are doing something on an investment that you're not too sure about? I'm working on this beach house, and there's a lot of times that I'm not too sure. Like, is this the right thing to do? How much money is on the line? What takes place? What happens if nobody rents it? Oh, damn, I'm responsible for that. These things start to come inside of your head. And so what happens during this war, Patton's like, this isn't good all. This is not good. So if you're going to take notes today, I want you to focus on yourself, and I want you to write down control what you can control. Can you control the weather? No. Can you control what the other people around you are doing? No. Can you control what the people tell you? No. So this is what Patton does. And I'm going to show you this video all because I watched this video and I found like the exact part where I wanted the video to be. Because what Colonel Patton does is he goes to his higher power and he says, you know what? The only thing I got is the big man up above. And I can control my conversations with him. So what he does is he brings the chaplain in to a meeting. And what I love about the video is that they show you a video that literally, and you're on Facebook, you're going to have to come on Zoom to see the video. But the chaplain's like, wait, what? So I want you to see his reaction and what takes place during this video. The video is about 3 minutes. Okay. So let me see. I'm doing this all my own now. I'm not even asking Jay. Jay has no idea. I'm making sure I could do it myself. Here I am. I'm going to do it full video so you don't have to see me in it. Let's see. Make sure your volume's up. Everybody could see it. Everybody see this right here? All right. So here's the storyline. Patton, freaking things are falling apart. He's like, I gotta work on like what can I control? And so he brings the chaplain in, and this is what he says, because the weather, everything is just not going for them. Here's what he says.
You want to see me, General?
Oh, yes, Chaplain. I'm sick and tired of Third Army having to fight the Germans, the Supreme Command, no gasoline, and now this ungodly weather. I want a prayer, a weather prayer.
Weather prayer, sir?
Yes, let's see if you can't get God working with us in this thing.
Gonna take a pretty thick rug for that kind of praying.
I don't care if it takes a flying carpet.
No, I don't know how this is going to be received, General. Praying for good weather so we can kill our fellow man.
Well, I can assure you, sir, because of my intimate relations with the Almighty, if you write a good prayer, we'll have good weather. I expect that prayer within an hour.
Yes, sir.
So can you imagine this all like in these type of conditions? I mean, they don't look very fun over there.
Almighty and most merciful Father, we humbly beseech thee of thy great goodness to restrain this immoderate weather with which we've had to contend. Grant us fair weather for battle. Graciously hearken to us as soldiers who call upon thee, that armed with thy power, we may advance from victory to victory and crush the oppression and wickedness of our enemies and establish thy justice among men and nations. Amen.
So let me just tell you a little backstory what happens from that prayer. So he requests the prayer I love how the chaplain, who's the spiritual person, says, "Are you sure about this? Like, that's what we're going to. That's your strategy. We're just going to pray." And I love the line. He says, "Why not? Why not ask him to help us out? Let's get him on our side. Let's have a conversation." So here's the amazing part, all. So they send this prayer back into the United States, and and Colonel Patton says, "I want every single military person to have it." Guys, this is the 1940s, okay? You can't just take a picture with your cell phone, go to easy text or artificial intelligence, say, "Hey, I'll just take this and send it to everybody's cell phone so they get the prayer." So what happens is they send it to the United States. They have to start photocopying this thing. It's a huge thing. And then he says, "You know what I need to do?" This is what I think is in business cards. I tell people all the time, remember back in the day, business cards used to only be on one side. And people are like, "Wait a minute, why aren't we using the other side of the business card?" Little did he know he was creating a business card with God involved. On the back side, this was during Christmas. On the back side, General Patton writes a letter, a handwritten note, wishing every single person a Merry Christmas. So he's got a prayer on one side and an intentional letter on the other side. And they took 250,000 of them, printed them out, and delivered them to the military. Here's the goosebump moment, all. I'd tell you to go look this stuff up if you don't believe me. Within a couple days, the sun came out. The military people, I get goosebumps just saying it. People started to, and I did it in this morning's post. They started to believe. See, when you're down and out and things aren't going your way, what happens is we lose the faith. We lose that drive. We lose that energy. We lose that until we can find something to believe in to restore our faith. And that's what General Patton did. He restored faith and belief that, damn, this guy's got it. And that's what you want in your rooms, in your environment, and the people to be around is I need to be around people who believe in me so I can believe in myself. And some of you, that's all it takes. And start to believe in yourself and have the faith that you can make it happen. So guess what? They started to turn in the right way. The equipment came, the food came. Because General Patton told the chaplain, "I need a prayer." So now it's called the Patton Prayer. And it's used many, many times. And the Patton Prayer was the prayer that turned the war around, where they were able to defeat the Germans because of that prayer, because of that night that he told the chaplain, "This is what I need." And so I share with you this, that when you feel down and out, when things aren't going the way that you want, and the noise is becoming louder than inside of you, I want you to start to say the Sherry prayer, the Christian prayer, the Sandy prayer. Make it your own. Have a conversation. Think about the craziest thing, whatever you're dealing with, whatever challenge you have. As we talked about earlier, I said, "Alicia, can we control the weather?" There's things, guys, that it doesn't matter what you do, you can't control. But you can control your prayers. You can control your conversations with yourself, with other people around you, and what you want to deliver. You can control what you listen to, what you filter in and allow yourself. So on this Memorial Day, and remembering our soldiers who have fallen, General Patton was one that I know God wanted me to see. Because what are the chances that he just happened to me? You know how you turn on your TV and there's like 27 different dashboards and all these screens and everything else. It happened to me right there. It said the history, the big H. And I was like, I want to listen to that. And then I opened it up and there he was. So today, on this Memorial Day, go create your own prayer. Whatever it is that you are struggling with, challenged with, whatever dream you have. I talked about it yesterday on my post where it's not too late. It's not too late. And if you feel like you're behind the 8 ball, there's an opportunity that's waiting for you. It doesn't matter what the circumstances might be. It doesn't matter how cold it might be. It doesn't matter about anything. God has a way of making the impossible possible. We just want it on our time. If you allow the faith to take place, to let yourself just absorb it and to understand it's part of the process, just like Patton said, Patton, I need you to go to Germany and win this war. The odds sometimes aren't going to be stacked against you, or are going to be stacked against you. It's what you do with it in those moments that matter most, whatever that might look like. So I want to wish you all an amazing day today, a holiday. Remember our soldiers. Remember that whatever prayer you have, just keep saying it. Keep showing up day in and day out. And if you're around July, come down the Success Summit. Come down to the Success Summit in Key West. I know there will not be any snow down there at the Key West Success Summit. No snow down there. It's actually been beautiful down there. I keep looking at the weather. So, guys, that is what I got today. I wanted to wish everybody enjoy your time with your families. Anybody got anything they like to say, add, share, anything that they would like to say or anything else? Did you like the message today? Put a 6 if you like the message. If you didn't like the message, just put a 6 just because it'll make me feel better throughout the rest of my day. Everybody's quiet today. I'm going to give everybody a little grace today unless somebody has anything to say. We got 2 minutes early. We're ending early today. Look at that. A big talker. Let's see. Facebook. Good morning to y'all on Facebook. A lot of people are watching on Facebook today. A little nervous. They're like, I don't want to be on video, so I better be on Facebook. Thank you, Latrice. Jackie, thank you. John, Charles, Millie, all of you. Sherry, thank you. Sandy, thank you very much. Guys, I appreciate you all. Thank you guys so much for being on here today, taking time out of your Monday morning on this holiday. Wish you all the very best. God bless you. I'm going to put this video in the Facebook. If you're not part of our Facebook group, go to the Brock Zevan's Mindset Motivational page. Go to our YouTube page, Brock Zevan's YouTube page. And if you're interested in coming down to Key West, direct message me. We're going to be sending out a ticket. We're going to be putting ourselves a lottery too. We're going to do a lottery, I think, next week and giving out 1 free ticket. 1 free ticket. We're going to do a lottery next week. So stay tuned for that as well. God bless you all. Have a phenomenal day today. Enjoy your family. And we'll be back tomorrow morning, 8:15 Eastern time with our main man, Mr. Chad Free. See ya.